Jim. How are
Richard,
you doing today?
nice to see you. Doing very well, thank
All
you.
right.
Sun's up.
And you and Susie run the Vino Noceto Winery.
Yes, we
And-
founded that 25 years ago. It's scary to think that way.
Tell us where the name came from. I know
Well,
Vino is wine,
Wine
right?
in Italian, but my
Noceto
wife's,
is nut?
well, it's walnut or walnut orchard.
Okay.
And we used to have 17 acres of walnuts, and my wife's a native of Walnut Creek, which the sister city is Noceto, Italy, near Parma.
Okay. Your wife is, I'm not going to say she's the smarter one, but my wife's the smarter one. You can say that.
Well, she keeps me running, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you have a big event coming up, your annual open house.
That's right. We have our open house. It's coming this weekend. I brought a couple things. You know, it's the out with the old a little bit, starting with a luncheon on Friday at Taste Restaurant with the previous block wines. I brought two of them, the Dos Oquis and the Misto from 2010.
It's one of my favorites, the Dos Oquis.
Right, mine too, which is always good. The Berkners have something nice coming up with that. But then the next day, we're releasing a couple of newer things, and it'll be the first time we're really pouring our 2013 Pinot Grigio, and then also the new block ones, which I brought the 2011 Marmolada, always a fan favorite.
Yeah, very good also. The Pinot Grigio, it's white. A lot of people prefer red, but the Pinot Grigio appeals to a lot of people.
Right. Well, we sort of found the hard way that we needed to have a real white wine. You know, a dry white that people can have a meal. You know, that's one of the things that, of course, is good for the ego for the winemakers and owners to be able to serve a whole meal. So
Right.
starting with the whites and ending up with the dessert wines. But we have a wonderful array, mostly Italian, besides the Sangioveses, Barbera, and Zinfandel, for in the middle with all the rest of the food.
Your wine, the evolution, is you and your wife traveled extensively through Italy? Is that where it's coming from, or?
Probably a little bit more to say we found this property here, really liked it, and then had to figure out what we thought would grow well. And we thought it was a warm weather area, so went and spent 2.5 weeks in Tuscany and with 2 and 4-year-old boys, which was a challenge, but we had a good time and decided to stick with Sangiovese.
You talked to a lot of people in Tuscany that were
Yes.
native and had to figure out what climate worked and what elevation worked and everything else?
Well, you know, they've had a couple more millennia on growing grapes and making wine than we have in Amador County, but several of them had visited Amador County in the 70s, and Mr. Cordy helped us line up visits with them, and they helped us immensely. Also got us charged up. We got to do this. We got to do this, and here we still are. Sometimes it's amazing.
Yeah, so you did your research, found the property, did your research, and then
Yes.
went from there. Now, the open house on Friday, is there still room for it?
There's still room for the luncheon. Give Taste a call at 245-DINE. That's $50, but it's a nice program. The open house is from 11 to 5 on Saturday. We'll have nice Moroccan food of all things, which goes well with the spicy wines of Amador from Best Sogard Catering. With the lunch, we'll have Trace Blues Hombres, that's a mouthful, I have to remember how to say it, playing music, and Kevin O'Neill will be doing blending sessions. Cellar Master, a little bit about like the Misto, how do we get to that, and then I'll be doing vineyard tours.
Okay, they need reservations for the Friday luncheon,
Yes.
obviously, but what about the open house?
It's come as come. There are no reservations. We have plenty of tickets. We'll find a way. We've learned how to make sure we have plenty of food for everyone.
And it's a fairly, I would say it's a mid-size tasting room compared to the Valley, so plenty of room inside.
Well, we're probably going to do this, we are doing this unless, even if it is pouring rain at the winery, so that there's space for everybody to go try things, a little shelter for the band if it's pouring rain, which I don't think it will be. It better not be, but hey,
Looks like it's going to be a good day.
yeah, I think so.
Now, do you have, if someone wants to do a vertical, you have previous year's vintages too?
We'll have some previous vintages. We'll probably have some barrel samples of one of the blocks so people can see the sequence of what is something that's now only, 6-8 months old versus the finished wine. And we'll obviously have at least a couple years of the previous block wines and the current ones.
And people can really get an understanding walking through the vineyards of why you do things. We took a tour recently with a group, and people can get a better understanding of why you do things, why you plant here, why you plant there, and then we actually walked through the bottling operation. I bet you're all done bottling, aren't you?
Well, the truck's come and gone. It's only there 8 days, but it's quite something to see too. And you know, you think of all the romantic parts, though. I think from your observation, bottling is not one of the more romantic parts. It's
Well,
mostly
it was-
hefting things around.
It was something unique to get to see, though.
Yes, yeah.
So they're great wines, and I don't imagine they'll be on sale that day, right?
Oh, we always have some sales
Yeah.
on something, but
Especially if you're a wine club member.
yes, this is true. But my boss runs that part of it, and she just tells me where, and Rusty, where to go. It's like at this today, but you said she's the smarter one. So, but that's why she's still asleep.
Okay.
But
All right, and people can meet the winemaker that day too, Rusty.
oh, Rusty
Salina?
will be there. He sends his condolences this morning. He's working on a grading project, so
Okay.
you know, always something.
All right, so Saturday at noon, and if people want to make a reservation for it's Friday at noon.
Friday at
noon,
12:30.
12:30, if people want to make a reservation, they
Call
call.
Taste 245-DINE, also area 209.
And then the open house on
It's
Saturday.
11 to 5, and just show up.
And you can't miss it, Vino
No.
Noceto Winery.
Corner of Dixon and Shenandoah Road.
Okay, Jim,
Thank you,
Thank you
Richard.
very much for being here. All right, we're going to a break now. We'll be right back.
You're watching Amador County's local television network.